everybody, welcome back to our channel Kavi Presents. And today I'm going to tell you about a new chapter called chapter number 7, Wireless Networking, and chapter number 8, Network Fundamentals. So before we jump into our chapter number 7, Wireless Networking, and chapter number 8, Network Fundamentals, let's go to our table of content to see what we have done and to see what we are going to do today. So here I'm going to my table of content here. So here we have studied the chapter number 1, Introduction to Networking, chapter number 2, Networking Models, chapter number 3, IP Addressing and Subnetting, chapter number 4, Network Devices, chapter number 5, Routing and Switching, chapter number 6, Network Protocols. So we have learned from chapter number 1 all the way to chapter number 6. And today we're going to do chapter number 7, Wireless Networking. So let's go to our first chapter, which is chapter number 7, Wireless Networking. So here I'm going through the chapter number 7, Wireless Networking. So wireless networking has a Wi-Fi standard like 802.11a/b/g/n/ac and /ax. So all of these Wi-Fi standards are the Wi-Fi in the old times, like 802.11b was in 1999, while in the present now we have Wi-Fi 6, which is 802.11.ax. Now let's see what is the meaning of Wi-Fi standards. Wi-Fi standards are created by the IEEE, or the Institute of and Electronic Engineers, to define wireless LAN area networks or local area networks or WLAN protocols. So let's see what is our first Wi-Fi standard protocol. Our first Wi-Fi standard protocol is the 802.11b, which was created in 1999, and it operates in the 2.4 gigahertz band speeds up to 11 megabytes per second, and it is widely used initially but prone to interface from devices like microwaves. So as you can see here in this diagram below, here is the first Wi-Fi standard, which is 802.11b, which can only download to 11 megabytes per second, up to 11 megabytes per second. Now let's move on to our next Wi-Fi standard, which is 802.11.a. It was also created in 1999, and it operates in the 5 gigahertz band, offering up to 54 megabytes per second, and it is less interference but lower range compared to 2.4 gigahertz. So as you can see here the 802.11a Wi-Fi standard was also created in 1999, but it can download up to 54 megabytes per second. Now let's move on to our next Wi-Fi standard, which is the 802.11g, which is created in 2003, and it operates on the 2.4 gigahertz band, and it offers up to 54 megabytes per second, but it combines the range of 802.11b and the speed of 802.11a. So as you can see here in the diagram here 802.11g can also download up to 54 megabytes per second, but 80.11g, it has the speed of 802.11a, and it has the range of 802.11b, making it more faster and more accessible. Now let's move on to our next Wi-Fi standard, which is the 802.11n, which was created in 2009, and it operates in both 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz bands, which is a dual band, offering up to 600 megabytes with MIMO, or multiple input and multiple output technology. So as you can see here in this in the diagram here the 802.11.n Wi-Fi standard or the Wi-Fi 4 can download up to 600 megabytes per second. Now let's move on to our next Wi-Fi standard, which is the Wi-Fi 802.11 AC, which was created in 2013 and it operates in the 5 GHz band, offering gigabyte speeds up to 3.46 gigabytes per second, with a beam performing on improved MIMO or multiple input and multiple output technology. So as you can see here the Wi-Fi 5 or 802.11.AC downloads 6.8 gigabytes per second, and it can be used to email and send stuff to laptops, watch videos, play games, and even live stream each other. Now let's move on to our last network with last Wi-Fi standard, which is the 802.11ax or the Wi-Fi 6, and it was created in 2019 and it operates in both 2.4 GHz band and 5 GHz bands, making it a dual band, and improved speed up to 10 gigabytes per second, and efficiency especially in high density environments like playing games or getting network or downloading or looking even in the CCTV camera of yours. Now let's move on to our next slide. So our next slide talks about the wireless network setup and configuration. So setting up a wireless network typically involves choosing a router. So you must ensure your router supports the latest Wi-Fi standard, which is the Wi-Fi 6, and you must be connecting to the modem. The router connects to the modem via a Ethernet cable to provide internet access to all of our computers. Now let's see the router configuration. The router configuration accesses the router's web interface, for example like this IP address, which is 192.168.0.1 using a browser. And number 2, we must set up a unique SSID or a network name for identification of the network. And number 3, you must choose an appropriate frequency band, 2.4 GHz for range and 5 GHz for speed. And number 4, we have security. WPA2 or WPA3 should be enabled for protection of people trying to enter into your network. So as you can see here from the internet or the DLC or cable, it will be transmitted to the modem, and then the modem will have 2 ways of sending internet to each other, of sending internet to the DLS. It can be either used in this cable or used to a Ethernet cable, sending it to a router, so it can give network access to a computer. And you can also get network access by using a power adapter and plugging it into your computer or a socket, and then connecting it to your computer. Now let's move on to our next slide. So our next slide talks about the wireless security, which is WPA, WPA2, WPA3. So WPA, which is Wi-Fi protected access, introduced to replace a weaker WEP protocol. WPA uses TKIP or the temporal key integrity protocol for better encryption. So we had used the WEP wireless security for protecting our networks, but now we are using WPA. Now let's move on to our next wireless security, which is WPA2. WPA2 is improved upon WPA, and by using AES or Advanced Encryption Standard, offering stronger encryption. it's been the de facto security standards for years. So after WPA came, they have improved it and made WPA2 to protect our networks from any hackers. But then WPA3 came. And WPA3 is the latest security protocol, and it introduces SAE, or simultaneous authentication of equals, for stronger passport protection and for stronger protection of our networks. So as you can see here in the diagram here we started from the WEP wireless security, and then moved on to WPA and WPA2, and then finally we are at WPA3. Now let's move on to our next slide. Our next slide talks about the Bluetooth and NFC's basics. So what is Bluetooth? Bluetooth is a short-range wireless technology typically used for connecting devices like headphones, keyboards, and phones. It operates at a 2.4 gigahertz network, which ranges up to 100 meters for Bluetooth class 1, and Bluetooth class 2 is more common with ranges around 10 meters. So as you can see here in this diagram here as you can see here, this headphone is connected to this phone, but it can't connect to this phone because it's more farther away. It's more farther away in class 1. But then in class 2 here you can still use this. You can now use the Bluetooth for all the way over here, but then you can't use it for all the way over here. Now, what is NFC? NFC, or near field communication, is a technology for very short range communication, usually a few centimeters. It's commonly used for contactless payments, for example like Apple Pay and Google Pay, and it simplifies the file transfer between devices. So as you can see here, whenever we buy groceries, we tap our card, or we use our card to tap on the reader, right? So as you can see here when we tap on the reader, here it will start reading the card and take the money of how much it was supposed to take. So folks, that's it for today. And if you like this video and you want to support us, please like, share, subscribe to our channel Kavi Web Designs. And I hope you all have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. And this is Bhavik signing off.